What's up, guys? It's Angel Santowski. Saturday, May 15th, 2021, fight day, UFC 262, Oliveira versus Chandler. Great card, guys. Well, a great main event. Finally, we'll have a lightweight champion after Khabib vacates the title. Khabib reigns supreme for some time, so it's nice to see that we have two fresh contenders coming up for the belt. So first fight of the night, we have Soriano taking this fight on late notice against Giagos. And, Giagos, he was training for a fight with Joe Alvarez, who I like Joe Alvarez in that fight. If that fight were to take place, but Joe Alvarez had visa issues per Tapology. So Soriano, he used to fight in the UFC back in 2014, 2015, I believe. He's taking this fight on late notice, as I said. Up a weight class. Normally, when he normally fights, he's a featherweight. He's taking it at lightweight, so he doesn't have to cut that extra weight, which I think will be helpful for him here. Giagos, he's a strong guy, man. Definitely a good athlete, man, but he gasses out. And, he was in the UFC too before, got some wins on the regional scene, came back, and he's had a couple wins, I believe. He beat Carlton Minus last time. That was closer than what it needed to be. He beat Damir Hadzovic. And it's funny too, because he actually came back into the UFC and fought Charles Oliveira in 2018, man, and that was his fight back in, and he lost, but he rattled off 2 wins after that, and lost to Jakar close, and then he picked up a win over Carlton Minus his last fight. But like I said, he should have the advantages in this fight. I just worry about his cardio, man. And I'm gonna take Soriano for the upset here, man. I mean, Sean Soriano really has no downside to this fight, man. So I'm gonna take Soriano for the upset, man. I think he keeps it standing. I think Giagos might take the first round, and maybe Soriano can pick up the next couple. And I think so I'm gonna go with Soriano by decision here. No confidence in this, guys, but my pick is gonna be Sean Soriano by decision. Next fight up, we have Kevin Aguilar against Tucker Lutz, man. Good fight here, man. Hopefully Kevin Aguilar is taking his training seriously, man. This fight is a pick'em. Minus 125. I like to look at 5 dimes odds. Minus 112 for Tucker Lutz and plus 102 for Kevin Aguilar. So it's a pick'em fight. Man, just the way Kevin Aguilar has looked, man. He's looked real chinny lately, man. Looked horrible against Charles Rosas last time out. On Instagram, looks like he's taking his training seriously. He's training in Albuquerque, or was, with Lando Vannata, amongst other people. He's on a 3-fight losing streak here, man, and his chin is severely diminished. Tucker Lutz, don't know much about the guy. He was on Dana White's Contender Series, but he's 11-1 as a pro, man. So I'm gonna take the new guy, trying to make the bigger impression, man. I don't know what Kevin Aguilar has left. He came into the UFC hot, man, but like I said, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. Give me Tucker Lutz by decision here. Gina Mazzani against Priscilla Cachoeira. Can't believe Gina Mazzani's the biggest favorite on the card today, man. Minus 200 favorite, 2-1 favorite over Priscilla Cachoeira. Cachoeira hasn't fought in a year and a half, coming off a nice knockout win of Shayna Dobson, who was just recently released by the UFC. And I don't know if Dobson retired. She may have. I know she was released, though. Gina Mazzani, man, I guess she's training with James Krause now at Glory MMA. But she picked up a nice win over Rachel Ostovich in her last fight. But we know Ostovich really isn't a good fighter. So it's hard to take any real meaning in that with that win. And as a 2-1 favorite, just can't lay it. I'm going to go with Cachoeira by first round knockout here. Andrea Lee against Antonina Shevchenko. A lot of money is coming on Andrea Lee. I'm not seeing it, man. She's on a 3-fight skid. I think she's questioning herself. I'm going to go with Valentina Shevchenko's older sister, Antonina. Pick 'em fight too with this guy. It's crazy. I'm going to go with Antonina Shevchenko by decision here. Next up, we have another pick 'em fight. Jamie Pickett against Jordan Wright. Jamie Pickett, he lost to Van Enchichui, his last fight in December. It went the whole distance. He lost by unanimous decision. He showed that he can take a punch, but he lost. And we saw Chichui take a loss last week against Park. Jordan Wright, man, I like the dude. I think the dude has potential, man. I think he's more than what a lot of people are saying, that he's just, one and done, can't take a punch, man. Yeah, he lost to Yoquan Buckley his last fight out, but that's no shame either, man. Buckley's a pretty experienced striker, man, and he was pretty high at that time. Buckley was riding a wave of momentum until he got humbled by Alessio Di Chirico. So, yeah, I mean, it happens, man, but hey, a lot of people question Jordan Wright's opponents, but man, he's handled all those opponents accordingly. So, until something changes, and he gets completely exposed, I'm gonna go with Jordan Wright here, man. It's a pick 'em fight. Jamie Pickett's a tough guy, but I don't think we've seen the best of either fighter, possibly. Definitely not Jordan Wright, but I'm going to take Jordan Wright here, man. I know a lot of guys are on Pickett and talking shit about Wright, but man, I'm going to go with Wright here, man. I still think Wright has potential, or at least enough potential to get the win here. So I'm going to pick Wright by first round knockout in this fight. Next up, another good fight I look forward to, a pick 'em fight as well. Mike Grundy, the Englishman, against Lando Vannata. And man, Vannata's cutting down to featherweight, I think, for the first time, or at least the first time in his UFC career. He's been in the UFC for 5 years now, man, and going up against Mike Grundy, who hasn't fought much, but he's been in the UFC for a couple years now. And, yeah, I was high on Grundy. He got a nice win over Nan Niramani, but he's only fought, I believe he's only fought twice in the UFC. Yeah, he lost last time to Movsar Evelev in July, Fight Island last year, but this might be his first time ever fighting in the United States. I know it's not his first time fighting outside of the UK and Europe and that, but he's going up against Lando Vannata, man, who's definitely did a lot of cardio to make the featherweight limit. Vannata's an up and down fighter, hasn't showed us much recently. I think Grundy's gonna take the first round possibly, but man, I'm gonna go with Vannata here, man. I'm gonna take the slight underdog. Like I said, it's a pick 'em fight. Minus 117 Grundy, plus 107 Vannata. I'm gonna go with Vannata by decision here, man. Maybe 29-28, maybe a split decision, but like I said, not a whole lot of confidence. But I'm gonna go with Vannata by decision. Another near pick 'em fight with a slight lean to Souza. Cachoeira, Ronaldo Souza against Andre Muniz. And, man, Cachoeira, been around the fight game for a long time, 41 years old. Hard to have any real confidence in this guy at this point, man. He's on a 3-fight skid, 1-4 in his last 5, And he has not looked good, man. I thought he looked all right in the first couple rounds against Blachowicz. But, he moved up to light heavyweight for that fight. It just kind of looks like a shell of himself, man. He's going up against Andre Muniz, who definitely looks like he's definitely the taller fighter, has a huge reach advantage here. Picked up a nice, he's a great grappler, picked up a nice submission win over Bartosz Fabinski's last fight, beating Antonio Arroyo. And I'm just going to pick him here, man. I see kind of a lackluster decision here. Not a whole lot of action. Maybe Muniz can catch Cachoeira. I doubt it, but it's possible. He's got long limbs, but I'm going to just go with Muniz here by a lackluster decision. Even though a lot of money has been coming in on Cachoeira, and Cachoeira's the favorite, and Cachoeira says, going out there to win. It's hard to believe, man. It's just the same old verbatim, you know. Shane Burgos against Edson Barboza. You know, this fight was a pick'em at 1.2. A lot of money is coming on Burgos. My pick is going to be Shane Burgos by decision, but the guy is coming off a knockout loss. You don't know what his chin's going to be. Edson Barboza always makes a great underdog, man. You know, Edson Barboza, he has a better chin than what people are saying, and Edson Barboza can fucking knock out Shane Burgos. So I don't know how you could lay minus 165 on Burgos here, man. I know Burgos always gets a lot of respect. I like him as a fighter. I like Edson Barboza as a fighter. Edson Barboza has shown time and time again, you have to respect this guy in the betting line, man. You know, he will come through. He will fight for your money. You know, he beat Makwan Amirkhani. A lot of people thought Amirkhani could take him down and beat him, but Barboza got the job done. Barboza lost a competitive split decision to Ige, you know, which many people felt he won. He lost a competitive split decision at Paul Felder at lightweight. He got knocked out by Gaethje. He beat Dan Hooker when everybody was really high on Dan Hooker. So Edson Barboza shows you time after time, man, that the guy is in there, he's relevant, and he's not going away, man. Not yet, at least. And now with the guys making featherweight, man, what a scary proposition, man. I thought the guy was a big lightweight and absolutely shredded at that weight class. Now he's at featherweight doing the same shit, you know. To me, it really comes down to, you know, whose chin is going to give out first. Burgos is better with his punches. Barboza is better with his kicks and knees. So yeah, Burgos definitely has to watch out for the knees coming down the middle. You know, obviously Burgos, I don't see him giving Barboza that striking room that he needs for his legs to get off on calf kicks, head kicks, shit like that. But man, I'm telling you, man, don't sleep on Barboza here. I'm gonna go with Burgos by decision, but at this price, I can't touch him, man. Next up on the main card, Caitlin Chookagian against Viviana Araujo. And, you know, I'm like a lot of people, man. I wanted to write off Chookagian in her last fight, but she came through. She beat Cynthia Calvillo, who was coming off a main event win over Jessica Ai at the time. So I don't think Chookagian is done. I thought she might have been done after that knockout loss or that TKO loss to Jessica Andrade. But she bounced back with that win over Calvillo. And, yeah, you know, Viviana Araujo, she's looked good. She beat Montefiore. She's beat Montana De La Rosa. But, you know, I'm gonna go with Chookagian here by decision. A lot of money is coming in on Araujo. The line is almost pick 'em too. And I'm going to go with Chookagian, man. I'm going to go with Chookagian here by decision. I don't think her time is done yet. If she loses, she may retire. As she says, she wants to be a mom and have kids, so that is a possibility. But I'm going to go with Chookagian here. I say she gets enough. She has enough in the tank to beat Araujo by decision. Matt Schnell against Rogerio Bontorin. I like Matt Schnell here. Bontorin didn't make weight in the fight at featherweight or at bantamweight too, a weight class higher up than what they normally fight at flyweight. So Matt Schnell is a hometown Texas fighter. I like that. I like that for him, even though, like I said, hometown fighters sometimes don't come through. That's not why I'm picking him. Bontorin just doesn't look right at the weigh-ins, man. Yeah, even though he didn't make weight, I'm still going to go with Schnell here, man. I like Schnell to pick up a win here, possibly by knockout. Bontorin just did not look good to me. So my pick is going to be Matt Schnell. Tony Ferguson against Beneil Dariush. As much as I would not want to lay that price on Dariush, minus 155, over a vet like Ferguson, I think, even though I think Beneil is chinny and has cardio issues, I don't think the upside of Tony Ferguson is better than that. I think Ferguson has taken too much damage. I think he is severely worn from what he was a few years ago, man. It's sad. It's very sad. I like Tony, man. If Tony wins, I'd be happy. How could you pass up a shot at Tony at dog price? I just don't think he gets it done, you know. But I can't fault anybody for taking the value on either side here. I just could not trust Dariush as a favorite like that. And Tony, I just don't know if he has enough left in the tank to get the job done. So, my pick is going to be Beneil Dariush by decision here. Main event of the night. God, man, I hate picking against either guy right here, man. Charles Oliveira, man. Against Michael Chandler. What can you say, man? Michael Chandler, longtime Bellator vet against a longtime UFC vet, Charles Oliveira. I think Charles has more ways to finish this fight. I like what Charles brings to the table. He brings a well-rounded game. But we haven't seen Charles on those championship rounds, man. And a lot of people are picking the under 2.5 here, and that might very well hit. You know, this fight could end in the first round by either fighter. I really don't see Charles getting a submission win here. I think Charles will win by knockout, and I think Michael Chandler will obviously win by knockout or TKO. But we haven't seen Charles in those championship rounds 4 and 5. You know, and some of his opponents have been sketchy, man, at best. You know, he fought a diminished version, a diminished version of Tony Ferguson. You know, a Kevin Lee that struggled with the weight cut. And Charles Oliveira, yeah, I had money on him at the time. He came through for me against Kevin Lee, but Charles Oliveira looked sketchy up until that point as well. Beat Jared Gordon, who's not at lightweight anymore. Beat Nick Lentz, David Tamer, who hasn't fought since. Jim Miller, Chris, you know, yeah, he's beaten all these guys, just like I said about Jordan Wright. He's beaten all these guys that he should. He's made a great resurgence at lightweight. I like the guy personally. I'm scared to bet against the guy, but right now, I'm gonna place a bet on the main event underdog in this fight, man. If Charles Oliveira's odds fall far enough between fight time where he becomes a dog, my money will be on him. But my money's probably gonna be on Michael Chandler here, man. And what can you say about the guy, man? I was a skeptic myself. I think I was on Dan Hooker. Not financially, but I picked Dan Hooker on Tapology and Michael Chandler's UFC debut to beat him. But man, he came out and just took out Dan Hooker in the first round, man. I think Dan Hooker, I don't think trained with Eugene Behrman for the fight. I think he took Chandler lightly. I think he just, I think Dan Hooker kind of gave up on being the best, man. He kind of just took it lightly and just thought he would just do his own training and that would be sufficient to beat Michael Chandler. But Michael Chandler humbled that guy, man. Knocked him out in the first round. Like I said, did something that Dustin Poirier and Paul Felder couldn't do. And he took Dan Hooker out, man. Michael Chandler, like I said, I'm not firmly convinced on the guy yet, but man, the guy has come through, man. He has beat Benson Henderson, Sidney Outlaw. I mean, every time I thought the guy would fall, he's won. He's come through. And we know Michael Chandler has heart for days, man. He's at a little bit of a physical disadvantage here as far as height-wise and reach-wise. But man, the guy is strong as a tank, you know. Both these guys are chinny in my opinion, or somewhat chinny. But Michael Chandler has some real power, man. And I'm gonna take Chandler here. I could see it going to decision. But I'm gonna take Chandler by 4th round TKO. But I mean, the fight could very well end before that. But like I said, at plus 115 odds in a coin flip fight, my model and myself are on Michael Chandler here, man. Like I said, I'm not betting the fight yet. But I'll be betting I will probably be betting Michael Chandler closer to fight time.